Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is John Unell, aka John I Fly, and I hope everybody's doing well. I'm trying to get the lights situated here a little better. You know how things are sometimes when you need them to work right. They don't always work right. I think we got it now. Anyway, it's Saturday the 5th, and finally I get a chance to come on and talk for a bit. I wanted to do this last night, and somehow I didn't get to it until this afternoon, Saturday, so let's get to it. So, anyway, this is hurry up and wait time. What do I mean by that? Well, we want January the 20th to get here as soon as possible. It's like, hurry up. But yet we gotta wait. It's just the way it is. We still have to put up with Donald Trump. What was it, like 40-some days left to go? I don't have the exact figure, but as far as I'm concerned, it's too long the way it is. But, yeah. Anyway, you would think that now that Trump is going to be during these last 2 months in the White House, probably brooding and crying and throwing tantrums. You think that at least he'd do some of his job as president. But what is he doing? Well, one thing for sure that's very important is he's certainly not helping out the situation with the pandemic. He's ignoring it. And I wonder if he really realizes just how severe it is. But obviously, I don't think he cares. He doesn't care. So while right now I think as of now, I think it's 280,000 people dead in the United States and over 14 million people, new cases. But what's Donald Trump doing? He's worried more about overturning the elections. That's all he's worried about. Not only that, he knows. Listen, Donald Trump knows that his days are limited, and he can sit there and say all he wants. Oh, you know, the whole election thing has been a fraud. It's not a fraud. He knows that. You know why he knows that? Because he's already had some pardoning meetings. Let's see who we can pardon next. Yeah, maybe some of my family members. And those that maybe they haven't committed a crime yet, but well, just in case, maybe we'll pardon them anyway. That whole Trump family, I don't trust them. I don't. They weasel their way into the government somehow. Just because Donald Trump got elected and president, then he brings his daughter into it, son-in-law, and everybody else. But he knows his days are limited. That's why he's doing all this meetings with the pardoning. And let's not forget, he loves to play golf. Now, I don't think he's played golf the past week. I don't know. If he did, I'm not aware of it. But I think he realizes just how serious the situation is as far as him being voted out. And it's unanimous, you might as well say. You know, the American people told him, we've had enough of your bullshit, it's time to leave. But not only that, he also had time to make a 45-minute tape on how he got defrauded. Oh my goodness. The whole election process was wrong. He should have been voted president. Then he pulls out, I don't know how many people saw that, but he did a 45-minute speech. Not sure where at in the White House he did it, but he did this 45-minute speech where he basically pouted and cried and carried on. And I should have been the one that was reelected and blah, 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 all that nonsense. It's making massive voter fraud is what he's claiming that happened. Massive. That's a pretty strong word, massive. I think he's got maybe massive dementia, but no massive election fraud. Every court that he's been going to now, they're throwing it out there. Some of them are laughing him out of court. It's like, get over it, Donnie. You lost. Face the facts. And yesterday, Friday, on the 4th, the U.S. added just 245,000 jobs in November last week. But normally Trump would crow about that, but compared to what they added in October, it's actually down from the 610,000 jobs that were added in October. So that's really not looking good. Matter of fact, the unemployment rate edged down to 6.7% in November. And if it continues, jobs could be shed on a monthly basis. And a lot of it has to do with the pandemic. But think about it, people. It all goes back to what he knew in the beginning of 2020. Now, I've heard people say, oh, my brother is good for saying this. Oh, don't be so stupid. Oh, my God. Donald Trump had no idea that this was out there, that this was going to happen. I just talked to somebody else, too, about it. And he has advisors. You got to remember, when you're president, you're not doing that whole thing all by yourself. You have advisors, you have cabinet members. And he was told, warned how many times when this started to break out, that there's something going on. I believe it was in China, overseas. There's an outbreak. They weren't exactly sure what was going on yet. But he was let know about it. He gets briefings. Of course, I guess maybe he feels, Trump feels that those briefings are a little bit too boring. But you can't sit there and say you didn't know about it, Donnie. You did. Well, now, we're in this situation today. Because, oh, and that reminds me, President Obama, the previous administration, already had a plan mapped out for what happens and what we should do as a country when a pandemic strikes. But guess what? Donald Trump got rid of that. I don't know. Was it because Obama suggested it and put it into place? We can't have that. If it didn't come from Trump's mouth, we can't have it. Such pettiness. And now look at us now. We're in this situation now. And, well, it's always Obama's fault. It's so easy to blame the previous administration or somebody else. Maybe it's Dr. Fauci's fault, No, it's your fault, Donald. If you would have listened to your advisors and listened to your briefings or read them or whatever. I keep hearing maybe you forgot how to read, but maybe that's the reason why you don't know. But anyway, if he would have just taken their advice at least, I don't think our country would be in the situation it's in today. But be as it may, we are. Last week there was also 712,000 who filed for unemployment, first-time unemployment last week. Again, it's down slightly, but still it's a flashing light. Congress needs to act, and they have to act now. We can't sit there and say, oh, well, you know, they'll get it through someday. Yeah. No. This is an emergency situation. There are people out there that I believe it's the day after Christmas, they're going to lose the protections for renters, and they could be evicted by their landlords. And unemployment's going to run out for a lot of people. Then what are they going to do? And one of my cousins told me, I couldn't believe my ears. I need to mark this on the calendar, but this person said that Mitch McConnell, that bastard, I can't believe he won't do anything. He needs to get out of there. I've been saying this, and my fellow Democrats and fellow Blue Dot people have been saying this all along, that Mitch McConnell is doing nothing. He's sitting on his ass holding up bills in the Senate. Why doesn't he leave them out on the floor and let them be voted on? He doesn't want to do that. So, anyway, the longer he dilly-dallies around, the longer the Republicans in the Senate dilly-dally around, this is what's going to happen. Now, from what I've been watching today, it seems like there may be something being put together. They may be taking this seriously. So we'll have to just watch, wait and see what happens. If they can just get together, Democrats and Republicans, and come across some common goals. We need to help the American people out. It's not their fault that this pandemic is here. But until we can get this vaccine distributed, that's the main problem, because this one company, I believe it's Pfizer, they have to have the vaccine stored in minus, I believe, 105 or something like that. But once they can figure out the distribution situation and get it to the people, then the first ones will be the first responders, the medical people, probably the ambulance people, anybody in the medical field that are helping patients that have COVID-19, and also the nursing homes. They want to have these people vaccinated first. We need to get the vaccine to them. But in the meantime, all the rest of my fellow American citizens, they need to live, they need to have food, they need to be able to support themselves, and until they can get working again, they need assistance. So Congress needs to get their thumb out of their ass and come up with a bill and get it passed. Now, today, Trump is going to Georgia. I don't even bother to call him President Trump. I never did. I don't think he should have ever been president, but technically he is until January 20th. He's going down to Georgia today. He's going to root for his two Republican candidates. I know the one's Purdue, and then the other one's a blonde-haired lady. I didn't write her name down. I see it, but I never do tend to write them down when I should write them down. But you know who they are. Trump's going down there to support them, and he wants them to get elected into the Congress, to send them back. But you know what's going to happen when that happens. It'll be the same old. They'll fight against the Democrats. They'll fight against Joe Biden. Joe Biden's been pretty good at negotiating. I'll give you that. But we have to move this nation ahead. We can't sit there and fight and dicker and complain. You know, Trump's not going to do anything. You know, he's a lame duck president, and he's acting like a lame duck president. When he was supposed to do his job, he didn't do his job, but all he did was cause chaos and confusion. That's it. So until he gets out officially on January 20th, he'll see what more chaos and confusion he can stir up. But anyway, the people down in Georgia need to vote for the Democrats. Get them into office. I know Jon Ossoff's the one candidate, and the other one's I keep forgetting his name. He's a reverend. I do have their names on the previous videos I did. I need to sit down and write them down. We have until January the 5th. January the 5th is going to be the time that the election's held. And we got to get these two Democratic candidates into the Senate positions. One thing that's nice is that Donald Trump is kind of making it hard for the Republicans. I love it. I am just loving it. He's sitting there basically telling them that, well, you know, you might as well stay home. Don't waste your time voting, because it's a rigged election. Keep saying that, Donnie. I love it. We'll get our Democratic candidates in there. People don't trust the elections, and they only have Donald Trump to blame about that, because he keeps saying the elections are rigged. The elections are rigged. Well, if I was a voter down there and I heard that, I'd probably be tempted, hey, what's the use? Why the hell should I go out and vote? It's rigged. And the Republican leadership is concerned about that. So go ahead, Donald Trump. Open your mouth and stick your foot in it. Say something stupid. And then we'll get the two Democratic candidates in there. That'll do a hell of a good job. I'm amazed that Perdue is not debating Jon Ossoff. I wonder why. Because Jon Ossoff is challenging him, and he has nothing to rebut John about. So, I know there's a debate on Sunday night with the Reverend and the blonde-haired lady. Forgive me, I don't remember her name, but she's going to be running for the the other Republican Senate seat besides Perdue. So they're supposed to have that on CNN Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So I don't know if that's when the debate's going to start. That might be when CNN starts their coverage. So it might start at 9 o'clock, but 7 o'clock is when they're going to be starting their broadcast. So it'll be worth tuning in and watching it, and we'll see what happens. I think the Republicans are going to be in serious trouble. People need to wake up down there, you know. These Republican candidates, they're not worried about you, the average citizen. They're more worried about the big corporations. That's all they're worried about. The rich bugs. That's all they're worried about. The faster you realize that, the better. Already, Trump has raised over $205 million in email, internet political campaign. $205 million. Well, what the hell is he going to do with that money? Well, he could use it toward his presidential supposed presidential run in 2024. Maybe he's going to use it to pay some of his bills that he owes. I think it's going to be a hell of a lot more than $205 million. But he's really something else, Trump. Do you know? And this is breaking news. I heard this afternoon, by the way. Donald Trump had the nerve to call the Georgia governor, and he told him that he should overturn the election. Imagine that. Overturn the election. Doesn't matter what the people say. Doesn't matter one bit. So that has to stop. He's encouraging people to break the law, basically. He's encouraging the governor to break the law. So we know where he's coming from. He's gotta go. Thank God that the American people saw Trump for who he was. We tried to impeach him. We did impeach him. He'll forever be impeached. It's just that his buddy boys in the Senate decided to acquit him. That was a joke. So anyway, that's about all I have for now. It's been a cloudy day up here today, and I'm going to take my walk. I usually take it earlier. I got to get used to these days. It's short days and long nights, but don't worry. After the 21st of December or whatever, first day of winter, the days will be getting longer, and I like that because spring will be around the corner in a few months after. So listen, thanks very much for listening to me. Remember to subscribe to my channel. And also, if you subscribe, click that bell there at the bottom of the screen. And that way you can get all the updates. You can also write me, too. My name is John Unell. That's Unell. And you can write me at P.O. Box 469 in Schuylkill Haven. Now you can abbreviate Schuylkill. That would be SCH period. Haven, HAV as in Victor, EN as in Nancy, Pennsylvania. And that you can just abbreviate as PA. Zip code is 17972-0469. I'd love to hear from you. It's Christmas time. Feel free to send a card, send greetings. I just finished sending out a whole mess of cards yesterday. I have a few more to send out, but it's that season. Hopefully we'll get through this Christmas season. We'll get through the winter. They'll get the vaccine out, and people will start being vaccinated against this COVID-19. There's so many people have lost their lives. And this current president that we have could care less about the virus. So we just have to wait till Joe Biden gets in. There's good things are in the works, and he's got leadership that we can trust, believe me. All right, well, listen, you take care of yourselves, everybody. I'll try to get another rant, or Johnny Fly's Thoughts, I call it. Try to get something in soon. I like to wait a few days and see what's happening in the news, and then share my thoughts on it. But you take care, everybody. I love you all. And again, you can write me at John Unell, Unell, P.O. Box 469, Schuylkill Haven. That's SCH period, Haven, HAVEN, Pennsylvania. Zip code is 17972-0469. Have a great evening, everybody, and a good weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Have a good night. Bye-bye.